Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Wave the Brush with me, your host, Kris, aka Mini Wargamer Kris, aka The Name Butcher, aka Hey You, Get Off My Lawn. Wave the Brush, the most informative 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. And what do you mean there's no sound? There's no sound. There's no sound? I see everything popping up. Now I gotta wonder. No sound. Are you guys just doing this to throw me off my spiel? No, I hear sound. I hear sound. You guys are just messing with me. Just messing with me. So anywho, Wave the Brush, the most formal 120 minutes on the internet on the wargaming lifestyle. We'll talk about painting, terrain, conversions, and everything under the sun. We usually delve into a lot of paint talk for first-time viewers, as well as a lot of what's under the sun, meaning no topics are barred. We'll talk about anything and everything. So if you're a first-time viewer, be warned, because we can delve off the path quite easily around here. And so, you know, just a bit of a warning. Of course, if you're a first-time viewer or if you're attending live, you can ask your comments in the chat. And you can also send me an email, Kris@MiniWargaming. It's in the description below. And you can post your pictures in that email. Send them as attachments. Don't send them off as links off to other sites, because it's just a huge pain. And oftentimes those sites will have ads running and things like that. And so it's a huge pain. Please don't do it. Just send as attachments. And that way, you know, we'll all get along. And of course, in the description below is a link to wavethebrush.com. It's the central hub of all this silliness. It has got all the links to all the social medias. It's got the link to the Discord, as well as shirts. You want to help support the cause? Look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Wave the Brush t-shirt. Of course, for everybody who's purchased a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also on wavethebrush.com, because it's kind of fun, and it's fun to put a face with the name and the name with the face. And so, yeah, that's always fun. And of course, also on wavethebrush.com is a link to Patreon support for anybody considering supporting monetarily. A big thank you to all my patrons who currently support me. And without their support, a lot of the upgrades and things like that just wouldn't be possible. You know, site maintenance, all those things, just annoying. And so, you know, a big thank you to them. And of course, if you are considering supporting by Patreon, I only ever charge per episode of Wave the Brush. I do these every Saturday. And so, you know, 4 times a month, kind of know what you're getting into, right? So try and make it easy on people, you know. I mean, like, you know, it's not like I'm, you know, profiting from this or anything like that. It's, you know, it's mainly just upkeep, really. And of course, maybe some prize support stuff and fun stuff. And I also try to do additional videos, you know, for just my patrons, you know, just to provide a bit of added value to the support. So, and always, of course, big thank you. And of course, big thank you to Guy Muir Alfer, aka Carl, aka Beer and Blood Bowl. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out if you love yourself some beer and you love yourself some Blood Bowl. Beer and Blood Bowl is where it's at. It's always fun tuning in every once in a while to those guys, because I just like listening to them banter back and forth, and I do enjoy watching Blood Bowl. So, because Blood Bowl is just fun. It's just too much fun. So, for everybody who is tuning in today, as you may have noticed, the idea of the show today, usually I just kind of like wing it and we just do whatever kind of craziness comes to mind. But today we have a bit of a curriculum today. As you may have noticed in the show title, I've already gone ahead and labeled this show playing with the contrast paints. So I was doing a bit of this yesterday on Mini Wargaming's Painting Auxilium, and today I'm going to kind of just continue that discussion going on from there. And so, of course, everybody who's on Twitch and YouTube, you guys can, you know, feel free. And everybody who's tuning in live, of course, you know, feel free to ask your questions there. If you guys have any, you know, any comments or what have you. Who is joining us today? Ebb and Flow. Sup, everybody? Mikey R. Hey, Kris. Ghost to Starman Deluxe. Kris has collected the 6 contrast paints. Now he just needs the contrast gauntlet to become unstoppable, inevitable. I need the gauntlet to become inevitable. Jacob Benedict. Yeah, I woke up a live show. I woke up a live show. You woke up a live show? Yay. Yay? Okay. Makiara, should there be audio? There should be audio. For whatever reason, I don't know why the intro music didn't play, so I'm wondering if the email segment, if the email will play. I don't know what's going on there. I'll have to have a look. As you may have noticed, I'm not in my lair today. I'm actually in my office at work, and you know, it's been a while since I've done it here. But because I had all the paints here, and I got everything here, and of course all the models are here, and so, you know, I was going to demonstrate a few things. Nothing model specific, more obviously paint specific. So, of course, if you guys have questions about the paints, feel free to ask. So no sound, blah, 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 blah. Old Man Logan, no sound for me either. Yeah, it's got to be the intro music we're all talking about here, right? Sir Peanut Butter, morning peeps. Old Man Logan, there you are. I can hear you. The intro music didn't play. Yeah, I don't know. I'm on a different system today. I haven't been on this system in a while, and painting Auxilium is just kind of bare bones, whereas Way of the Brush has got a little bit more to it, so, you know. Evan Flo, I had to relaunch iOS to get sound going. Interesting. Anthony B, Way of the Brush in the office. Woot. Kevin Cabal, happy Monkey Day, everyone. Happy Monkey Day. Nathaniel, hi, Chris, fellow monkeys. Matthew Perez, good morning, Chris, fellow monkeys. As per usual, at work, but hey, 3-day weekend, which means I better get some painting in. I think so. Nathaniel, is Chris in a new location? Actually, it's kind of an old location. Well, I'm in a new location, but an old location. So it's a new old location. I'm in my office. I've done the show many times. Well, Way the Brush is, you know, I used to do it in the studios, and I used to do it in my office, and then I did it from my lair at home, which is, you know, usually where I do the show nowadays. But I'm in my work office today, which is the Way of the Brush studio anyway. So, you know, so I'm in my space anyway. Anthony B, do you have quick tips, guides for Seraphon? I want heroes to look proper. For Lizardmen, I might have a few. In the new Painting Academy, I go over painting scales and such, but nothing specific as far as like color schemes. I mean, like, I'm trying to think. I did the Poison Dart Frog thing, but I think that was I showed that on a Tyranid. But it doesn't matter. I mean, like, you know, the quick tips, I mean, it's the general information. Really, the model is irrelevant, really. I mean, it's you know, you take that a technique and you employ it somewhere else. You know, I know some people out there, they're like, okay, well, you paint a Space Marine, you paint an Ultramarine. Okay, well, how do you take those colors and apply it to a Terminator? And I don't quite understand that one, and I've heard that one quite a bit. Okay, well, how do you do that on a Terminator? How do you do that on a Rhino? I'm like, what? You know? So, I don't know. But anyway, is anything Seraphon specific? I don't think so. I mean, there are videos where I've used Lizardmen, but I don't know if it was Lizardman specific. I mean, like, you know, doing the spears. I'm sure I've done painting spears in wood and stuff like that. You know, painting gold, painting, you know, scales and stuff like that. Like, I know those videos are there, but were they Lizardman specific? Not really. Grim over on Twitch, howdy y'all. Matthew Perez, contrast paints and ASMR. Do we need the ASMR again with the paints? It just looks weird because I was actually watching a video where I was shaking it and my arms are down here out of frame and my arms are just shaking and it just looks kind of inappropriate. So, you know, to each his own, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. Call King 555. That was yesterday. That was yesterday. Anthony B, just as long as he doesn't whip out the pickle ASMR will be good. The pickle ASMR? What's that? I don't know what the pickle ASMR is. M515, excited to see the new paints. Yes. So, got a whole bunch of them. And I made a mess of my office trying to get ready today because I was looking for a bunch of models I had prepared. Like, I had the Godsworn. And I did appreciate on these, as you may or may not be able to tell from the camera here. And I also have a model that's metallic. And so we're going to we're going to look at probably a couple of those today. But yeah, I was looking for the rest of my Godsworn. I don't know where the hell they went. They're probably in another case. I don't know. My office right now is a mess. I was opening a bunch of boxes. I should have got in earlier to try and, prepare today. But, obviously didn't, right? So, all right. So, I don't have the sprays. Those are supposed to be coming in. They were separate, but I don't have the sprays. But I mean, I guess I could demo the sprays in here, but it is an airbrush booth. But anyway, let's move this case here. Oh my god! Oh my back! Grabby paints, lots and lots of paints, lots and lots of paints, paints, paint, paints, paint, paints. Lucky paints, 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 paint, paints. Lucky paints. So, yeah, we're going to do a little demoing today. I have a few ideas on what I'd like to show. I didn't have time to prep. I came in like an hour and some early, and it still was not enough time to get things ready, amazingly enough. Sorry, I'm just going back to the comments here. Nathaniel, have contrast paints being given out to selected painters for review? For review? For promotional. I don't know about review. Not for review though. But yeah, select painters have been sent paint sets. Yes. Hard rockin' amigo. Hi there. What models are you planning to paint? I mean, I have a pre-shade going on this Godsworn guy. It's actually not that bright, so I'm not that confident that's going to show up very well on here. And I wish I had my other Godsworn models. I don't know where the hell they went. And of course, I do have this other marine over here, which was just given a basic metallic. And so I know a lot of people have been asking about that. We'll play with that. As you can see here, I gotta switch cameras here. So I do have a whole bunch of the paints. Here, let's go to this one here. Yeah, there we go. You can see me all over the place now. You can see me here, you can see me here, 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 here. You can see me here, or up there, or right, no, right, there. So anyway, yeah. So got the whole paint range. Contrast paints. And this camera actually looks a little funny. I'm wondering if we can play around with that. Let's switch that. Again, I didn't have a whole lot of time. I should have been in way early. Now, which camera is this? I'm going to assume this is the second camera. And let's see here. Zoom. Yeah, that's this camera. Okay. So I'm going to change the focus just a bit. Apply. Okay. And the other camera. Should be fine. It's all fine. It's all good. Okay. Well, plus two, I have two different colored lights going on here, so it is a bit of a pain. But anyway, yeah. So the plan is we'll get to playing with these in a moment. Better get my blade out of here before I end up jabbing myself. I'm gonna need a little bit of paint and water so that I might rinse my stuff off. Just leave that right there. Actually, anybody wondering what my paint jar looks like? That's my paint jar. That's what I rinse my stuff out, and you can see it's just full of gunk. But yeah, that's gonna have to move this stuff too. Jeez, please, I'm running out of space here. I am completely out of space. I was gonna do this at my workbench, but in my infinite wisdom, I realized that where the computer is and like where my workstation is, it's just not enough room. So now I'm wondering if I can set this up so this is not entirely in the way. That's not bad. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, actually maybe we will change the focus on that camera. Yeah, I'm still playing around with this, people. you know, I don't think you guys tune in for, like, you know, the really, that's too much. Is that too much? How close do I need to be here? Let's see here. Yeah, right around there. It looks okay. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. So, as you can see, yeah, so there was a pre-shade thrown on this guy. Now, for whatever reason, on my one monitor here, it looks really blue. I wonder if that's the case over here. Of course, I can't move this frickin' window. Why can't I move the window? Really? We're going to do this? There we go. Yeah, my screen, it still looks a little bit blue. Not sure why that is. But anyway, we'll get over it. I could always adjust the color, the white balance. That is actually not horrible. That's a little truer. Let's see what the metallics. Let me see what. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah. So, I think we'll leave it at that for the moment. Oh, I moved the freaking mouse. Son of a beehive. I gotta be able to see what the hell I'm doing here. Okay, so where am I in these comments here? Prime Aussie, on a scale of 1 to 10, the quality of the paint. The quality of the paint is consistent with Citadel paint. Now, these colors, like here, I'll let you listen, okay? These colors don't flow like the usual Citadel colors, like the regular opaque colors. These are thinner than that, but they're not as thin as a shade wash. They're not quite in between. They're closer to a shade wash in consistency, but, you know, here, now listen. I'll let you listen to what it sounds like. See, that sounds like a shade wash, right? And so, yeah. Whereas the paint, it sounds a little goopier, right? Like here's the new Grace here. This is the base color. And yeah, see, this looks totally inappropriate when I do it from this angle. Like, I should stop that. Let's go back to the split screen just so that people can see I'm not playing with myself. And of course, there was a couple other things here. This one's fantastic. This is Apothecary White. This is for, well, I'm just doing this camera here. This is for, basically, you add this to the contrast color to bring it up just a little bit. And so I think that's really, really cool. So basically you can kind of get into some fine tuning. The whole system, like you could pretty much get away with just buying this system. If you're brand new to the hobby, you could pretty much just get this entire paint system and be good for a very long time, up until, you know, you get to much more nuanced type of painting, right? But here's the other ones that I thought was very interesting. Was now when we had a chance to play with these colors. You know what? I'm going to turn that down a bit. Maybe that's what it is. It's pissing me off. I know, I'm playing with my cameras. Let's turn the exposure down just a hair. Yeah, let's go with that. See how that looks? Oh yeah, that's a lot better. Turn the exposure down. Okay, so when we were playing with these, when we got invited by Games Workshop, a whole bunch of painters. Really fantastic guys. Getting to meet all these guys. Oh, just awesome. Meeting Sam and Ben, Pete and Tyler and Richard and Andy and Johan. All the guys. It was great meeting them all. Really fantastic. And like one of the high points in my wargaming career, as it were. But anyway, as we were demoing the paints, we were playing with this stuff, and I don't recall ever them showcasing to us these two, the technical Storm Shield and technical Undercoat. And when I was playing with these paints at the time, and I was trying them out initially on metallics, the metallics were finishing like you would imagine with the shade wash. When a shade wash sits on metallics, it kind of kills that metallic luster. And so it was, just not very cool. And I had suggested at the time, because the fellow who was in charge of creating these paints and is in charge, I guess, of the Citadel color range. I had mentioned to him that either these should finish with a gloss, or sell a gloss line separately. But it looks like that they went with, you add the gloss to it, which I was theorizing whether or not that would work or not, because I mean, like, this feels like Undercoat. It feels really thick, like Undercoat. Anybody who's used Undercoat knows that it's kind of thick, like the GW paint, and this feels the same. And Technical Storm Shield, this feels more like it should dry like a matte. Now, I have not played with this, and I'm not 100% sure as to what it's going to finish like. I'm going to assume Undercoat is going to finish as it normally does, with a nice glossiness, and I'm going to assume Storm Shield is going to finish with a matte. So, yeah. So, yeah. Where am I? Clayton, take care of your paint jar, and it will take care of you. Yeah, the paint jar? Yeah. Reziel. What was that contrast metallic? Was that a contrast metallic? There's no metallics in the contrast range. There are no metallics. So, no. I mean, like, I've looked at all the colors, and I actually, one fun thing we're going to do, and this is a bit of a sneak preview for everybody who follows, mini wargaming and myself and such. Basically, I started with Steve, and basically I'm filming the reactions to how this paint system works. Now, I'm going to use Steve, I'm going to use Luca, I'm going to use Vito. I'm very interested in Vito's thoughts as a more experienced painter, as Vito's a really great painter. Steve's already given me his thoughts as a very experienced painter. Luca doesn't really paint too much, but he does paint his models. I'm very curious to see what Matt says, because Matt does not paint his models very often. I can't remember the last time he's ever painted a model. And Dave as well. And I'm curious to get Dave's thoughts on this stuff as well, and see what he thinks of it, because I know both Matt and Dave don't really paint all that often, and it'd be very interesting to see what their thoughts are on this range. And of course, basically it was like a demoing. I was kind of just filming their initial reactions as they were working around. And Steve had done, just really quickly, this little guy here. And this is 2 layers of, what is it, Black Templar? Where's the black? Is that the black? Yeah, it's the black. Can't even tell which one's the black. This is 2 layers of Black Templar. And I can probably zoom in a little bit better here. Just give me a sec. Or focus in, I should say. But you can see high points, low points. You can see like around the knuckles. You see how it creates that, you see the color gradient in there? How it looks like highlighting? That's just 2 layers of this applied. A little too close there? Yeah. And so Steve had done this, and this is sitting on top of, anybody who's curious, this is sitting on top of Citadel Skull White, or White Spray, the White Spray. So, yeah, that's Steve's thing. He tried that out, and seeing how that went. And let me just refocus here. There we go. So, yeah, that was Steve's initial impressions of the paint system. Dark Commission, where's the paint fluffer when you need him? Zone Stalker, a few metallics probably along with the contrast. A few metallics probably along with the contrast. I'm not sure what he means by that. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Zone Stalker. But anyway. Clayton Tate, what do you think of the contrast paints? This. Schluck. Dark Commission, and I thought meeting me was the pinnacle of your career. It's up there. Dark Commission, John. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. So getting to sit down and talk with you, and we hung out all day, and that was good. Nathaniel, the stream is demonetized, banned by YouTube for inappropriateness, and or rated NC-17 by YouTube. I think I already have a mature rating on this. I'm pretty sure I do. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Maybe I should. Mad Hoser, calling it now. Merkins are going to complain or be confused that they call them colors. I don't know about that. Reziel, I'm going to ask a hard question here, Kris. Is this paint line just good for attracting new hobbyists, or is it actually a good investment for experienced painters as well? Really good question. Personally, so far, I've had time to digest my thoughts and feelings from initially when I was playing with these paints to now, and now experiencing them more. And this is just the tip of the iceberg of playing with these colors and seeing where we can go with these. But I do think that intermediate and advanced people, are going to find a use for these. You're going to find a use for these colors for the same reason experienced painters go out and buy Minotaur ghost tints. For the same reason people go out and buy Tamiya clear colors. Same reason. So, do you like those kind of aspects of miniature painting and doing and finishing and getting those different kinds of effects and stuff like that? That's what this is, except this is a huge paint range. This is 30 colors. Most of those other offerings from other paint lines are very small, other than maybe Minotaur. Minotaur offers a pretty wide range of color. But like Tamiya, like even the old Forge World colors, there were only like seven Forge World colors. I don't even know where I'm looking around. I don't even know where my paints are. I don't even know where my models. I don't even know where my Godsworn went to. I'm so sad. I don't know where they went to. Because I was hanging out here last night, and there was gaming night. Max Aggression was holding some gaming night last night, and some boys were hanging out and playing Underworlds, Shadowspire, Shadespire. And, that's why I kind of picked up the Godsworn dudes, because I want to play some Shadespire and, get to playing. So, got to get on that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint my Godsworn entirely in contrast. I'm just going to paint them. I've got metallics already on the models, and I'm just going to paint the metallics later on, in the normal fashion. Because, again, these colors, there's no metallics. So you still have to rely on... Like, this system is not replacing Games Workshop. At least as far as I understand, it's not replacing regular Citadel colors. It's just it's an addition to. It's another option. And, yeah, I think that there is something here for everybody of any skill level. Brand new people are going to be very impressed with this. Intermediates, I think, definitely are going to be, impressed with this. And advanced people, they're going to see some uses to this, And again, we're only limited by our imagination. So, Kingdom Jams. So you don't have to use their new sprays always as an undercoat for these paints. It's now, again, I don't have those new primers. I was supposed to get them, but they haven't shown up yet. But like, they got the new base colors here. Oh, wrong mouse. They got these two new colors here: Wraithbone and Gray Seer. And essentially, this is just like Screaming Skull and Uthran Gray, but a little bit brighter. I don't think these are the same, but these are base colors, so they're nice and heavy pigmented, right? As anybody who has experience with the base colors, these are really nice. They'll sit on top of even dark. But anyway, you're not supposed to put these on top of dark. But the primer is Citadel primer. It's just tinted in that warmer tone. They offer these two different tones because if you're going to go for cooler colors, you should prime in that light gray. And again, the way this color system works is it works on top of bright. Okay? With normal miniature painting, we can prime black and build up to a bright color, right? But with these contrast paints, you're starting off bright and you're building down to your darker color. Okay? So it's the opposites. This way this paint system works is the opposite kind of direction. Yes, the traditional painting you can go back and forth, but with this color system, it really only works in one direction. In that line of thinking, you can't prime black. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'll grab if I can find a black model. Here, let's see here. Yeah, I got a black model right here. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is just a black prime on this. You know what? We'll do it right now. Let's do it right now. Let me grab my painting rag. Hold on here. You know what? Because this stuff is not going to sit on top of black. So let's go with a nice color. Let's go with a nice color here. Let's go with, I don't know. Yeah, let's go with this one here. Flesh Terrors Red. All right, let's move some of these colors out of the way. So we're going to go with Flesh Terrors Red. Okay? And I'm going to lay it on top of this black. And ER, no metallics is a bummer. Why would that be a bummer? Why, like, once you start playing with these paints, you'll understand why there is not a metallic. It's not necessary. The metallics aren't necessary. What works currently for Citadel's metallics still works. This system is not designed for that, as far as I understand it. And as you can see, so they flow really thin. Anybody who's used any of the other kind of colors, like shade wash and stuff like that. So you just grab a fairly healthy amount on your brush, right, and apply it right onto the black. And I'm applying it in a somewhat generous fashion. Let's do his head. You know what? I'm gonna. You see right there on the shoulder pad. Look, you can barely see that color, right? I'm gonna lay it on his helmet in heavy fashion. I'm just gonna lay it right on, like just shellac it on. I'm gonna grab a fairly heavy amount on my brush, and I'm just gonna holy kermoles and just. Oh, you normally would not do this. Oh, I'm wincing right now. Just how much color I'm laying on this model. Oh my gosh, this is killing me. This is killing me. Demonstrating this to you guys. This is killing me. Okay, so you can kind of see there's a bit of red right now in the model, but look at how it barely is noticeable, right? Okay. So I will quickly grab another model while this dries. I will grab another model that I can throw some red onto. I got a white prime model somewhere. Somewhere I've got prime models. Oh, yeah, here we go. Let's grab this guy here. Grab a little Eldar Guardian. I got some Eldar Guardians that we can sacrifice to the contrast gods. I did done this model a while back, showing like Tiger Strike helmets on Eldar, you know. Big whoop, right? We're not here for that, Kris. You know, I gotta dust them off though. Sorry, I gotta grab all my tools here. You know, let's grab everything. Let's grab all my brushes. Let's grab all the brushes. And something to dust them off with. Let's use this brush. Dust them off with that brush. Just so we got a nice clean surface. Now again, that was sitting on top of a black prime that I laid that color down on. And this model here is just a white prime. I don't know if this is a Citadel white. I can't remember. These were done a very long time ago. It's dusty as hell. But, you know, whatever, right? Okay, so we're going to use the same Flesh Terror Red. Just so you can kind of see a comparison here. And we're just going to do just his arm. So I'm going to grab a healthy amount onto my brush. Because that's the way this should work. Is a somewhat healthy amount. And we're just going to begin just laying it on. Man, as fast as I am laying this on right now, you can just see like how fast you could probably get through a whole bunch of models if you had to. This color actually reminds me of Blood for the Blood God. The intensity of it, it reminds me of Blood for the Blood God. And how it flows and everything. Yeah, this is giving me flashbacks of Blood for the Blood God. But I'm only doing 1/2 of them. And yeah, so there. So you can see the color intensity there, how it looks. That's nothing like it looks on a black prime, because that's not how this paint system is designed to work, right? So we're gonna let this guy dry for a second, but look, you can see all the details. Look at that, right? It looks like I applied a base coat and a shade wash, and I've not. Job was left out. It's a shame they didn't switch to a dropper style bottle. Not really. It doesn't bother me any. But yeah, so the little Guardian dude, you see he's drying. You see you got some high points, low points, right? And if we wanted even richer color, we could lay it on. But here, let's look at the black. Remember I touched that shoulder pad first? Barely existing. I laid it on really heavy. Look, you can still see it's still wet in the recesses there because I just laid it on so heavily. But look at the black. Right? Why is that? Because these colors are transparent. That's why. That's why this works. That's why this paint system works. Okay? So, this color will sit on top of the white just fine. Now, the whole, I think, you know, I'm not even 100% sure why they went with this new system, but why they wanted to go with these two different primers, the bone color and the gray color. I think just to help your overall experience, because the warmer tone you get with this one helps obviously with yellows and reds and, you know, possibly some greens and some browns, stuff like that. Warmer tones, right? Whereas this gray will help you with the cooler tones, the purples, the darker greens, the blues, the black, right? And this will help. You know, it gives you basically two different ways you want to go. But a lot of painters, well, a lot of inexperienced painters, I should say, like a lot of people new to this hobby, they're not going to really know which direction to go. And I think a safe bet is simply go with white. But the white, I can guarantee you though, this red does not sit on top of this white the same way it would on top of Wraithbone or even on top of Gray Seer. It would give you a different value. If I had the spray paints here, I would show you right now, you know, how this color would look. But there you can see it's almost finished drying. And I mean, like, look at that. Like that, you can throw that onto the table and start playing right now. Well, I mean, once you laid more color on him, of course, but you could see, right, how he looks. Like, it's very passable. You can see the finish. Oh, look at the finish. You can see the finish has got a slight glossiness to it. So that begs the question of, you know, where do we go from there? Kingdom James, I see what you mean about the dark undercoat. Thanks for answering my question, Kris. Yeah, so black prime, dark colors, not going to sit very well. Unlike when you lay it bright, right? Oh, crap. Like this model here that Steve did. That was just 2 coats, and he did 1 coat of the black. And you can kind of see up on his aspects, you can kind of see the dark tone. You can see how, like, you can see the details, the high points and stuff like that. That's basically how most of the model looked after 1 coat, right up on the aspects there. But then he laid the 2nd coat down, and look how it finishes nice and smooth. Can I get a good angle here? Yeah. See how smooth it looks? Tide marks. He was worried about the tide marks. Because again, this flows more like a shade wash, right? And anybody who plays a lot with shade washes knows that, you know, tide marks and stuff like that are a complete pain. But this is 2 coats. And his first coat wasn't bad. And he was actually being very conservative in his brush strokes. But again, I don't want to spoil it too much because there is a video of that coming out. And so this coming week, you're going to see some videos of the boys playing with this paint system because, I mean, I'm going to do some tutorials with this paint system, but I think basically, you know, it's going to be a lot of fun. Tutorials and impressions from the rest of the Mini Wargaming crew, what their thoughts on this paint system is going to be like. It's going to be fun. Solid Ohm over on Twitch. Maybe you could use the technical colors on black if you really want that dark effect. But then why not add a normal darker color anyway? I wonder how this would work with gray prime. With gray prime, it should be okay. Now, like I said, like I'm not terribly confident on how the color is going to sit on top of this guy because the high points are really not that bright. This is probably about a bright mid-tone gray. It's up from a mid-tone gray. I actually didn't go to a pure white on my pre-shade here on these models, and I had done the whole gang like this. I was just going to quickly work through it, but now that I have the contrast paints, yeah, I'm definitely going to play with the contrast now on top of this. And whatever I get, I'm just gonna, finish with, and just go from there. Yeah, I definitely like that. I've got a whole bunch of Guardians I got to get through, and I think this might be the way I can get through, 500 Guardians. And as you can see there, yeah, more of the color. See that helmet, just barely you can see that red on the helmet and that shoulder pad. And that was a very heavy amount I laid on that helmet. And the color just isn't there. Some of you might want that particular shade like that. But bear in mind, like when you're going to, especially with some brighter colors, like you're not even going to see it. Like yellow is just going to disappear. It's going to look more dark green or something. Kris. Are you using a different microphone today? I can hear you much better. I'm using a more broad microphone. And I'm actually sitting pretty darn close to it. So that's probably why you hear me a little bit louder. The Spaztec. Would a dark wash on a base improve the shadows or a highlight over the base improve the pop? Yeah, definitely. You mean like if I was to come in and lay some bright red highlights on here? Definitely. Yeah, you definitely totally could. Go right ahead. Again, it's entirely up to you as to how far you want to take this painting system, right? Being as a beginner, getting this far in painting is usually a bit tricky and a little bit intimidating. But I mean, you saw how fast I laid that color down and how I just kind of slapped it on. And I mean, look at that, looks very passable for tabletop, and looks okay to me. You know what I mean? The finish looks smooth. I don't see anything really wrong with it. Again, for brand new people, this is exciting stuff. For people who paint armies on a regular basis, I think you definitely should find yourself this paint set. I'm trying to think who else. Advanced, for people who want to get into some color tinting and stuff like that. The airbrush, that's another one. I could show the airbrush, but you guys wouldn't be able to see it very well because there's no light in my thing yet. Sophie, wow. Definitely getting a yellow for some fists can actually finally have a fully painted Imperial Fist army. Yeah, definitely. You get yourself this contrast Iyanden yellow, right? This Iyanden yellow. What's the other yellow here? We got the Griffhound orange. I speculate that with the yellow, you could probably do a pre-shade, say, of something like a mid-tone brown, or you can just lay, bone, the Wrathbone down, and then hit it with this. I mean, you probably you should get a good Imperial Fist. Yeah. The most impressive thing are the browns. There are 9 browns in this paint range. 9. Now, I mean, we're talking flesh tones as well in there. Like dark oath flesh, right? It's kind of, and this one looks, you can see kind of in the top there, it kind of looks a bit like Reikland Flesh Shade. It kind of has that red-brown hue to it. As opposed to Argyros Dunes, which has a bit of a yellow to it. It almost looks like Typhus Corrosion. It's almost got that same kind of color value. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of browns. Snakebite Leather. This is fantastic color. What else we got here? Flesh Eater or Fire Slayer Flesh. 9 browns to play with. Wildwood. Wildwood. Skeleton Horde. I'm going to assume this one sits on top of bone really well. You know what? I didn't even try this one on bone. Do I have any bone? Do I want to do it? I'm looking at my Abaddon right now. I painted the bone, but I wasn't 100% happy with the bone, but I haven't done the little Gene Sears skull on him yet, though. But I was trying to see if I got something that I could paint that's bone. Arg! Oh, wait, maybe I got something down here. I got a whole bunch of minis down here. I got like boxes of just like crap, right? So let's see here if I can find something that should be good for an example of bone. So far, I'm not terribly confident here. You'd think I'd have a bunch of skeletons sitting around, but no. No, I don't see anything. Oh, wait. What's up? Nope. That's not it. Let's see here. I gotta have something here to demonstrate bone. Because we want to play with Skeleton Horde. Again, I'm thinking I might just have to show this on white. Yeah. I am completely... You'd think of all the models I have and have painted, I'd have some better examples. See, but I really thought of, where I was going today with a lot of these things. Here, I'm just going to show this right on the Guardian again. We're going to use Skeleton Horde right on the Guardian. This should give you an idea of the color. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Look at that color. That looks fantastic. And we're just going to do his leg. I'm going to grab a fairly generous amount on my brush, because that is the way this is recommended. Oh my. Oh my, this looks fun. Yeah, I'm going to grab a lot and just lay it onto the model. So many browns in this paint range, and they're so nice. Yeah. You know what? That's actually a really good start to a brown, or to a bone. I'll show you guys here in a sec. Now this is sitting on top of the white. So if you laid this on top of Wraithbone, you get a slightly different value. But look at that. As a bone color. That's pretty darn nice, I would say. Nathaniel, Kris the Boneless. I know, I'm boneless. Nathaniel, they brought back Snakebite Leather. Yeah, I know. We all giggled about that one. But yeah, I mean, like, just, you could see how it laid on top of the model, right? And giving you your values. And I mean, I laid a pretty generous amount. You can see it kind of pulling down near the feet. And I mean, like, if I was really nitpicky about it, I could always just come in and just kind of quickly just sop that up, right? Oh, there's a little bit of too much here on the back of the calf, right? It's a little too much on the back of the calf. Oh, let's just pull that off. Oh, a little too much back there. Pull that off. You know what I mean? And so, like, you can finesse this as far as you want, right? So there is that option for more experienced painters out there who, you know. But look at this stuff. Like, I like that tone. I like that bone color. Did I just make up a color scheme here for Eldar? Red and bone? No, that's a terrible color scheme. It's like all mangled. Alrighty. Lord Fawful. Hey Kris, how are the greens? My orcs are begging for this paint. Begging. They're begging. For orcs, I guess orc flesh would really be, I guess, the color, right? The test on orcs. I don't have any orcs available, but let's say, I needed more time to get prepared today. I thought, oh no, a couple, hour and some. I got plenty of time. But no, I got to get stuff prepared. Let's grab another Guardian, because I've got Guardians out the arse. I've got Guardians all the live long day. I'm just gonna give them a dusting though first. And I just use an old brush when I dust. No, nothing added to it. Just dry. Because if you add any kind of solvents or even just water, it'll mix with the dust and create like a goop on your models, which I've done, and I'm like, oh, that looks awful. So yeah, so we're gonna play. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do green, because there are green Eldar. Where did I put my rag? Here we go. It's my trusty rusty painting rags. Yeah. Let's play with the green a little bit. Geeky Sneaky Ninja. Does it leave streaks or stains when you remove the pooling? Not really. I mean, there will be some tide marks, but you can see, like here, I'll zoom right in on this, where I pulled the. Can we push the camera to its max? That is the camera's max. Oop. Okay, that's the camera's max. And let's change focus a little bit. There we go. You can see where I pulled it off the calf. I mean, like, if you're brand new to this hobby, I mean, that's not horrible. Right? There will be tide marks. There will be tide marks, depending on how aggressive and how much you're laying down. But like look at the red here. Hold on, I gotta orient myself a little better here. Like, if you really look at the red, you can see there's a little bit of tide marking. And I laid that down pretty fast, right? I mean, like, if I was being really nitpicky about how much I was laying the color down and, stuff like that, sure, I could remove all the tide marks, but as a brand new painter, no, I'm not terribly worried about it. All right, so let's go with the green. So we're going to play with some orc flesh, right? Play some orc flesh. Open this up. Oh, you know what? I didn't give these a shake. These just got in. They don't really need too much of a shake, I would think, because I'm sure that they were just mixed and, shipped over. But anyway, all right. Try and stay in frame here. And yeah, let's start on his lower half. Let's do his legs. We're going to grab a fairly generous amount on the brush. See right there? Quite a bit there in the brush. And we're just going to begin slapping it on. And that's it, Grab a bit more. Now you can see I'm not grabbing a whole lot onto my brush, because I'm not in the habit of really saturating my bristles, right? So, but I mean, as a new person, I'd imagine they'd probably just dunk the brush right in. Have like a lot of those kind of habits, right, early on. They're not very good habits, and you should learn the better habits, as early as possible. But, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So, here we go. All right. And again, this was just laid on fairly quickly. You can see here we got some little bit of pooling going on the thigh, right? So I'm just going to quickly grab that, pull it off. Again, if I'm really going to be nitpicky about things, yes, I could quickly draw that off, up on the knee pad, and I'm worried about, how much color saturation's there, and you know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to get that nitpicky about things, sure, there you're going to see those kind of faults. But as far as getting this guy done and to the tabletop, because that's what this system's about. Now, yes, you as a more advanced painter are going to be able to do a lot more things, but, that's entirely up to you. But I mean, like, as an experienced painter, how to take care of these kind of things. This isn't some magical paint, although it does look pretty magical from where I'm sitting. But, and you can see it gives you your highs, your lows, brings out all the details, and you can see like how fast it just gets laid right on, right? Pretty darn easy. Barely an inconvenience. You see it dries with a nice finish. Here, let's go back to let's go, since we're close up, I'll show you guys the Space Marine one more time. So we see I hit the red on that shoulder pad and his helmet, and the helmet I laid a lot on his helmet. Look at that. This has had plenty of time to dry, and the color is just not there, right? So, and the reason being is that these colors are clear. These are transparencies. That's how they work. Here's the little Eldar Duder again. And so, like I said, like, yeah, you could come in and, pick out edges and, Mad Hoser, you could also go right back over and do some dry brushing for highlights, no? Yeah, you totally can. It's paint. But you can see the finish, how nice and smooth that finish is. Like, look at that. See how, like, on the abs? See how smooth that is? So, let's go back to the green here. Green legs. Let's go back to the green legs. Yeah, he's not quite dry yet. But, I mean, like, doing orc flesh? Sure, why not, right? And this is on top of the white. For orcs, you might want to hit with, the bone color or even the gray color, depending on what kind of orcs you want to go for. I'd probably go with the bone. Just go with a bit warmer green. I always like a bit light, like kind of a lime green on the orcs. That's just my preference, but I know some people like more of a, colder green. So, yeah. But I mean, like, as far as, getting your models painted, tabletop, quickly, this system's pretty hard to beat. And I mean, like, on camera, it looks, like, I don't know, my color saturation I think is still off on the camera, because like this looks, this almost looks like I'm working with almost a warpstone glow. Yeah, the way that green kind of looks, it looks like warpstone glow. It's with that similar kind of value. Where are we in the comments? Sophie, wow, get some awesome Eldar Banshees with that bone color. Yeah, some easy, quick Banshees. Now the thing is like when you're gonna go with models with like multiple colors on them, yeah, you definitely want to try and be careful where you're laying them, because these colors are transparent. If you lay your brighter color down first, which I would recommend with these kind of things, especially if you're going to go with multiple colors, I'd start with your brighter tones first and then slowly build up, because it's just a little bit more forgiving. But of course, you got to be very careful, and then you can just kind of lay those colors on top of each other. And also bear in mind, because these are transparents, that if you went in with a yellow and say a red, where they overlap is going to create orange, right? So be mindful of that kind of stuff, because yeah. Pork and Bean 69, is that yellow and blue convincing enough for a Iandan scheme? I think so. Yeah, I mean, I just did the yellow on the helmet was painted, regular paint, but it was the red of the body I used the contrast for. I mean, for doing Iyanden, sure. Let's bust out the Iyanden yellow. Let's bust this one out, okay? And let's do this little Guardian's head, right? We'll do this green Guardian. We'll give him a yellow helmet, but we're just kind of using him as a proxy of, of a Guardian, right? So let's grab the yellow, and the brush I'm using here, just in case anybody who really wants to know what brush I'm using. I'm just using a shade brush. These brushes kind of get turned into utility brushes for me because they got nice long bristle length. They're fairly thick, and yeah, they're just pretty darn good size brushes. I use them for a lot of things. So I'm going to grab a very generous amount on my brush. Ooh, almost knocked my paint over. And do be mindful that you could end up spilling the entire bottle, whereas regular Citadel colors, it's not so bad. But yeah, so let's just hit it with the yellow. If you lay it on pretty heavily, it kind of takes on a bit of a mustard yellow, but if you let it go quite thin, it gives you a nice bright yellow. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's a yellow. That's yellow. Me likey. Me likey. I'm just going to pull off some of the tide marks here off the tip of the head. Maybe off the front of his face a bit. Pull those down. And of course, for all those painters out there who know their brush strokes and know, basically, how to control themselves. I mean, like, look at that yellow. That's the Iyanden yellow. Okay. We'll give that a second to dry. And blue. What blue do we use? Ultramarines blue? No, not Ultramarines blue. Akelian green? No, that's green. That actually looks like Kalia green shade. That tint, it kind of has this blue-green tint to it. It's actually really pretty. Leviathan blue. Ooh. Now, somebody was asking about what would be a good Cantor blue, and I think this is it. Leviathan blue. I think that's the color. All right. So anyway, we're gonna go with this nice bright one. Talisar blue. This is like really, really bright. It's really, really bright. Maybe we should go with a different one. No, that's gray. We'll try this really bright one. It's super bright. It's a really saturated blue. This is a bit more like Kaldor Sky. This is, at least that's the way it looks in the bottle. I don't know how it's going to apply. Like, I've played with these colors in a limited fashion. And so I'm kind of learning along with you guys what colors are going to go best. Like, what are the approximates, right? So let's grab here. And let's grab a nice generous amount onto the bristles, right? You see there, got a lot going on the brush. And let's just start. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, this is cyan. So this is, with the yellow and this cyan, you can make all sorts of colors. Because again, I think as I've mentioned before, I don't know if I mentioned in the show today, but you have to change your color theory when using these colors. When using opaques, we use the traditional color wheel. Yellow, red, and blue as the primary colors. And with these kinds of paints, we have to switch our color theory around. How we use color and how we're going to apply color. And with this paint system, you use the cyan, magenta, yellow, because that's what these colors are. You're basically applying the colors like you would a printer, right? That's why it relies on the white base, because imagine a printer, right? Printer prints on paper, and it gives you the highs and lows, and a printer has only got cyan, magenta, and yellow. Cyan, magenta, yellow? Yeah, cyan, magenta, yellow in the print head. And that gives you all the colors you need in a print, and you can print photographic with that color system. And that's the same thing with this paint system. If you've got a good cyan, a good yellow, and a good magenta, you can produce all the colors of the rainbow. All the colors of the rainbow. But yeah, I'm ending up painting this whole guy here. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm just having a lot of fun applying this paint. I get kind of lost in it because like how freaking easy it is to get stuff to a decent standard. I'm not talking you're going to go out there and paint with this stuff and win golden demons. But it looks pretty darn good. So we're going to let that dry a moment. And I'm going to answer a couple more questions here while we wait for this guy to dry. Yeah, like that's freaking stupid easy. Nathaniel, Kris, will we be able to do emails today? Yeah, we will do emails. I only have... I got 2 emails. One from Jacob and one from Marcus. Marcus will do first. Yeah. So, yeah, we will be doing emails. Because I only have 2 right now. So, we will do emails. Don't worry. Calm down. Calm down, right? So, yeah. Melanie, we just wanted to know what the release date was. Yeah. Sophie, I've spilled more wash pots than I can count. Yeah, I can imagine. TH, have we covered why only Citadel Primal will work with the contrasts? I'm not 100% sure that they only work with Citadel primers. A white, because I mean I'm painting right now on top of Citadel white primer, and it works just fine. Now, I've heard people speculate that the surface tension of the new primers are a bit different, have a bit more of a satin finish. You can't push that finish too far, but you do want a bit of a smoother finish on the model so that you get all that nice creeping action of the paint, right? Kind of like the shade washes. And you don't want too matte a finish, because then the color just goes kind of just everywhere like an ink, and so. But I mean, I'm using it on top of Skull White or White Scar, whatever the hell the white primer is called, and it's working just fine. And this is how I remember it being applied, and then so far it's doing what I expect it to do. And so here, let's have a look. So here's the quick little proxy of the Iandin dude, right? You saw how long that took me? The yellow looks pretty darn good. Is it great? Is it perfect? Of course not. Because you can always add highlights to it and edge it and, bring the color up more, or, whatever you want to do. But if you have 500 of these little guys to do, and, you're getting ready for a big game or something like that, absolutely nothing wrong with just applying that little yellow on the head and hitting this body with the blue, and look at that, we're done. You could and hit the gun with maybe the black. You know what? I seen somebody wants to, Mike Sprague, have I tried the black? Have I tried the black? I have tried the black. Have I tried the black today? No. You know what? We'll play with the black right now, since everybody's kind of curious right now. So the black is called Black Templar. It's Black Templar. Okay. Yeah, the blue's gorgeous. I know, it's really nice. It's a really good cyan, and I mean in person, it's cyan. Like, it's nice. Like the camera is not doing it justice. Or at least on my screen, it does not look the same. If you're familiar with cyan, then that's what it is. So anyway, we're gonna play with Black Templar, and we're gonna paint the gun. I'm gonna show you guys really quickly here. I'm gonna apply just one layer, like I was showing earlier with Steve's example. Steve applied 2 layers. I'm only going to apply 1, and I'll let you guys see how that looks. I'm going to get a fairly generous amount on my brush, right? And we are going to begin to... Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out where I am. Here we go. And we're just going to apply it on. And this actually should give you a good idea of what this stuff looks like when it's being applied and how it works, and, how it flows. Because... Again, I can always nitpick over tide marks and stuff like that, or I can just let it run amok on a model surface. Ooh, let's do the cabling. Let's show the cabling. Let's do the cables. And the little icon. Boom. Look at that. You see the little high points and low points. Here we go. I don't think we're really concerned with how much of the damn gun I'm painting. So I'll let that dry a couple seconds, and you guys can judge for yourselves if this black is worth your time. So yeah, I like the black. I like all these colors. All these colors are just really darn good. More comments. TH, so the whole GW spiel about only their primer working is correct. It's because they're selling it. It's their product. I mean, yeah. I mean, you don't ever see Citadel say that their colors mix with other people's paints, right? You don't see anybody with Citadel saying, "Oh, our colors will work with scale 75 colors, and our range can." No, they want you to buy their paints. So yeah, of course they're gonna recommend those kind of things. I mean, it'd be naive to think that they're not, right? I mean, they're selling. They're a company. They're a business. It's not a charity, right? This is a business. Like they're looking to make money. So, and these are all water-based acrylics, and like these are water-based products. I mean, they can't sell you toxic stuff. So it's not like they're special. They're made with using quantum physics and adjusting the atomic structure of a particle, and I mean, like it's nothing like that. It's paint, man. It's just paint. Nathaniel, Kris, any printer uses cyan, magenta, yellow, K being the black. Yeah. Lehman Russ, yes, it's a money grab. It's always a money grab. This whole paint system is a money grab. Everything's a money grab. Anybody who's selling you something, it's a money grab. Businesses are in business because they're making money. To think otherwise is naive. Like, yeah, it's a money grab. All business is a money grab. They want money. That's the point. That's how capitalism works. That's how this whole system works. GeoFits, maybe we'll let GW get armies on the table faster too. Yeah, possibly. Lehman Russ, I'm going to do zenithal highlighting with cans and use them that way. Yeah, give it a try. Although I would caution against pushing too far black. I think going just as far as a darker gray. Not all the way black, just a dark gray. Just because these colors go to really dark tones, right? And this gun is getting pretty close to being dry. Yeah, but I would not, like, if you want to do zenithal, bring it up to a bright white or whatever bright color you want to go. Because there's nothing saying that you can't even prime with, say, yellow, with a bright red, orange, bright green. Think bright. If you're going to put down a prime or base coat, go as bright as you can. If you're going to use these colors, go as bright as you can. Because just like a printer, your paper, right? Oh, I don't have any paper around, for God's sakes. Totally prepared. Paper is white. It's the brightest tone that you're going to get. So when you print a picture, a photograph that you took of a sunset, and it just looks beautiful, the brightest tone is the white of the paper that you're looking at, and it's the darker tones built on top. So a pre-shade or a zenithal pre-shade or whatever the hell you want to call it, okay, typically with black, as I've demonstrated here, black does not really show color all that well. If you want to have really, really dark shadows like that, by all means. I did it with this guy, and I'll probably show it here in a bit, how it looks. Because I've done appreciate with this, but I did not go to a pure white on the high points. There's already metals on them, so if you see the shininess, that's the metals on them. Yeah, in fact, I'll probably play with the hair. We'll probably do the hair. We'll probably do the hair in a red, I think. And we'll play with the browns for his boots and stuff, for the fur bits. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, we'll do that in a moment. All right, and also, what time are we at here? 20 after 1 already? Jeez. And also, I was going to demonstrate on metal. on a metal miniature. Or not a metal miniature, but a metal base coat. You see how nice and bright this metal is? If anybody's curious how this effect was achieved, this is a Stynylrez gloss black, and then Mission Models, what is it, cold steel, I think? Hold on, let me go grab that paint. Where's the paint? Oh, there. Frickin' blind. I'm frickin' blind, man. Cold rolled steel is the color. That's what, oh, there we go. Yeah. It's Mission Models, cold rolled steel. So if anybody's wondering how I got that, and I also use this for my Abaddon as well. I use that for my Abaddon, and my Abaddon is based in that. So Abaddon started off like this, being a bright dark metal like this, and then I used black and basically shaded upwards, leaving the brighter metal underneath. But anyway, enough about that. Christine, how does it work with large flat areas, like if you're painting a rhino or some such? I don't know. I haven't tried it on a rhino or anything like that. We did try it on when we were at Games Workshop. We all got blight drones or bloat drones. I don't know, the Nurgle robot drone thingies. We got it on those and tried it out, and it works just fine. And you know, this system really is designed for being applied by brush, for the most part, as far as I can tell. Spraying it through an airbrush is more like using ghost tints, where you're looking to just tint the surface and just change value a little bit with transparencies. That's what these colors are going to be like. So if you're thinking of using this for airbrush, which you totally could, and these would totally go through the airbrush just fine because they're thin, like a shade wash. But they're not going to give you that capillary action, unless of course you really saturate the area. But then if you're doing it by airbrush, and you're oversaturating, then what are you doing? Like, you know, just do it by brush. Okay, so this is almost completely dry here. This is the black. So you tell me, does that look black? That's only one coat. Okay, you can kind of see all the details. You still see there's some points there. And this is sitting on top of pure white. This would take on a slightly different value if we'd have started off with that light gray, like GW recommends with the gray sear, right? This is a light gray. This isn't quite Othran gray. I don't have my Othran gray out, or do I? No, I don't. I put it away. It's a bit closer to Othran gray as far as you know, value is concerned, right? But yeah, that's one layering of the black Templar, and that looks pretty darn good. I mean, it's tabletop. Like, you're not going to win awards using this. If you're thinking that this paint is going to make you the end all be all of painters, then you're delusional. You're freaking delusional. So this is Steve's example. This was 2 layers of the paint, and like 2 layers, and look at that. Look at the smooth finish. And he just slapped it on. And you can still see transitions on the model. Like, look at his hand. See his hand with the finger pointing? You can see the transitions there. The shoulder pad, right? On his chest. Let's come in a little bit more. He just slapped that on and got all those values. And that was 2 layers. That was applying 2 layers of Black Templar. Jose Arsenio's or Arsensos. Oh man, I'm sorry, the name's a nightmare. Name butcher, sorry. How do they work with zenithal priming? Okay, well, we danced around it enough. Let's have a look. So I've got this model here. Now I have not primed this guy all the way up to a pure white. It's pretty bright, but otherwise you can see on the underside, you can see he's still pretty black, right? And as I've demonstrated, this stuff does not sit on top of black very well. So I would recommend for anybody out there who's thinking of using this particular technique to only push as far as like a darker mid-tone gray or mid-tone color of whatever you're choosing. Let's use Blood Angel's Red. I'm going to do this on his hair because his hair has some nice little transitions going on. You can see like the highs and lows on his hair, right? You can see that. Let's try it out. Let's have a look. I know everybody's just friggin' curious as to what this is going to look like. So let's have a look. Let's just have a peek. So, get a nice healthy amount on my brush, right? See there? Pretty darn good amount. Actually, I'm going to move this pot because I always put it there, and I'm always end up going to hitting it. Where's this flow on his head? Because I do want to be careful as I apply this, because I don't want to hit any other areas. And I'm also going to apply it as we have been applying it, which is fairly generously on the surface. And so, let's see here. Am I in frame? There we go. We're mostly in frame now. If I fall out of frame, I'm sorry. I just, I get excited about my painting. I do apologize, though. Don't mean to do it. I don't mean to do it. And so let's go with the back of the head here. Just go bang. We're just going to slap it right on. We're just going to lay a crap ton of this down. We're going to be swimming in this stuff. Now, my initial impressions here is that it's actually sitting pretty darn good. Now, I did lay quite a bit down, but there's enough of the gray tone appearing. Oh, yeah, I got to pull some of it out of the recesses here. But you can kind of see we're getting our brights and we're getting our darker tones here. But I'm going to pull some of the color out from between some of the hairs here. So I'm just using a cleaner brush. Oops, I hit some of the flesh areas. Let's pull some of that color out of there. Again, you can get kind of nitpicky about, where the color is going, but otherwise, yeah, let's get some of that color out of there too. We hit the horn, which means that we can't really use contrast on top of that point anymore. We got to come in with more of an opaque color. But it's not horrible. It's passable. It really helps on the very top. Anybody who's done pre-shading, when you lay the bright white on top and it kind of flattens out all the details on the top, right? And so typically when you come in with other colors, you end up hitting it with a shade wash to pick all those details back out again. This could kind of save you that step, because look at the top of the hair. That looks really darn cool. Like I can see all the fibers. Right? But look at the back of the head. See, I got all my darker tones going on. Yeah, we got the slight variations, and we got the hair separation. I kind of dig it. I like where it looks on the high points. Yeah, I definitely would not push it as far black as that. I think I'd recommend going darker gray. Kind of like, think about almost like Eshin gray. Kind of that darker gray color. I wouldn't go to a pure black. And I mean, like, I'm going to do these pieces up as just gaming pieces, but I do want to have a nice paint job on them. And I mean, like, if I really want to come back in and, fine-tune highlights and stuff like that, I totally can. Right? But I'm totally digging that look on the top of the head where you got the high points. Like, look at you. It looks like I've got, like, very fine highlights, very deep shadows. I got all sorts of transitions going on. Of course, that's because of the pre-shading. But, yeah. It's very, very interesting. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. I'm going to try with some of the browns. I'm going to show, what was the color here? Snakebite leather. Where's snakebite leather? Snakebite leather. We'll play with this one next. We'll apply this to his boots. Okay? We'll see how this looks. Now, I'm not terribly confident that this is going to show up very well, because, again, the boots are really kind of a mid-tone gray. They're really quite dark. But let's see. So let's grab some snake bite leather. Go for his boots. Ooh, gotta be careful here and end up knocking stuff around. So grab a nice healthy amount on my brush. And let's just start slapping on. There's metal plates on his shin here. Ah, screw it. They'll go brown. Oh no, I'll avoid them. Just constantly second guessing myself. Yeah, I wish that there was a brighter tone on these boots so that I could really see the high points. But a pre-shade does work pretty well. Now on the back of that one leg, you can kind of see there's some brighter points there, and so we'll hit that and we'll let you guys see that. So yeah. I mean, as far as the leather is concerned, I mean, and giving that leather look, it looks really cool, that leathered look. What the hell does that even mean? You know what I mean, damn it. But yeah. Sop up some of that excess out of there so we don't kill a lot of the color. Yeah, so the color, like I said, you can see, like, look at that on the boots, on the back leg that's stepping back. That looks really cool. All right. And we got highs, we got lows. You know? Man, now overall, I mean, like right now it's still drying, but overall the overall feeling of the leathery boots is not that impressive. But what's impressive is getting the high points and the low points and getting those shadows in there. That's the impressive part. I'm not entirely impressed with how vibrant the color is, because the color, yeah, you can see the top of the head now. Look at that. See how you can see the nice bright points, and you can see how you get like the deeper midtones. And you're getting kind of the same thing with the back of the leg here, with the snakebite leather. Once it dries, you'll get a better idea of what it looks like. But DM. Okay, well, we got to try the flesh now. We got to try the flesh. Let's try the flesh. What time are we at here? 1:30. Holy carmoles. We're going to have to get to, you know, one of those things. Email. Let's play with Fire Slayer flesh. I'm going to assume it's kind of going to give me a bit of a Bugman glow kind of look. Or Dark Oath flesh, which I'm going to assume is going to give me a Reikland flesh shade. See how it kind of looks like that? That looks like that's Dark Oath flesh. Yeah, that looks a bit like Reikland flesh shade. Where's the other ones? Or Gilliman flesh. Ooh, yeah, that might give me more of a Cadian flesh tone. You know what? Let's go with this one. Let's go with Cadian flesh tone. Because, again, my gray pre-shade is just not that bright. Now, mind you, when I did this, I was not planning on using these colors. So if I was planning on using these colors, I would have hit them with more white. And once I find the rest of my gang, I probably am going to use more white. But yeah, let's use this Gilliman flesh. So let's grab some Gilliman flesh, and we'll start at his mug. Mug being his face. Grab a nice little healthy amount onto the brush, and let's go. It's kind of hard to discern on his face. Let's go with his arms, where there's a little bit more color going on, or high points. Again, this does rely upon having a lot of brightness, and this already creates nice deep dark tones. Already off the hop, not terribly impressed, because again, I've got a lot of gray tones going on, right? Yeah, I'm not terribly impressed with this current feeling of this. But this is my fault. This isn't the paint. It's just there's not a lot of there's not enough bright points to bring out all the color, and that's what these colors need. Is a nice bright. Now, if you're the kind of person who doesn't like to prime with bright colors, yeah, this paint system is going to be kind of a bit of a culture shock for you, because to make this work right, you've got to prime with bright. You want it bright, you prime it white, right? Let's hit the back behind his head here. And I'm laying this down somewhat heavily, not too heavily. I'm trying to be somewhat controlled. And I'm laying it down. But right now, yeah, because of the pre-shade I've got going on, no, I'm not feeling it at all. No, I'm not feeling it in the slightest bit. Not on this anyway. I'm just pulling off some of the extra color here. Yeah. I'm going to let that dry a few moments, let you guys see. No, it's got to go brighter. It's got to go brighter. So, like I said, you're better off just priming this stuff like bright white. Like, look at the boots here. See the boots? The boots look cool, but the shadow just goes a little too far down for my liking. You got to go brighter. Because, again, you know, otherwise you have to come back in and lay your highlights down. Now, if you're going to come in and lay your highlights down, then what was the point of the pre-shade? Right? Yeah, see the flesh? Flesh has got like this fleshy blue tone going on right now. Not terribly impressed. Not with the pre-shade. These need to have that white prime or this bone color. This bone color, actually for the flesh, would look a lot better. This warmer white would look a lot better. That's what it's designed to sit on. So, for anybody out there who's going, well, I don't want to get those Citadel primes. Well, don't. But I mean, at least start priming in white. And I mean, like, if your model is, excuse me, I'm burping here. If your model is mostly bright, you know, and you want to go with some brighter, warmer tones, then yeah, you should use the Wraith Bone. Or if you can find a off-white warm primer. But yeah, it's not that these primers are formulated and, you know, they were split in atoms to make it or anything like that. I mean, these primers were designed, the color is what's important. That is what the system was designed for. So, yeah. Holy carmoles. Old Man Logan, one nice thing about these is they should be very easy to transfer to a dropper bottle. Sure. Go right ahead. I mean, when transferring, there's a certain amount of loss, and guaranteed what we paid for these things, I really don't accept those kind of losses. And yeah, I mean, they're paint pots. I mean, you know, don't bother me none. I don't know. People get all uppity about dropper bottles. I like dropper bottles, don't get me wrong. But I mean, my favorite dropper bottles are, where are all my paints? Is this stuff from Golden here. I use a lot of these Goldens. And this is the kind. This is almost like a ketchup bottle, or remember like the old school glue lids? You just unscrew it and the top opens up. You can see it's kind of gunky, but that's okay. You just screw it back. Why? I like this because it's one-handed. It's a one-handed system. When I'm painting, I can just do this with one hand, pour my paint in, go back in. But yeah, that's what I use a lot of times. Golden airbrush paints. But anyway. Aaron Seach, I bet these will work great with Stanore's various color primers. Yeah, definitely would recommend brighter primers though. The bright primers. I mean, you can go with darker colors, sure. But if you want that color vibrancy, I mean, yeah. And that's, I mean, you know, again, I demonstrated it earlier. I mean, that's just the color sitting on top of black. And it looks like crap. If that's the tone you want, okay. But, you know, then you got to come in and edge highlight that. And I mean, like, that's not the intention. you might as well go for a base tone, that tone, right? If you're going to go that dark with your color schemes. You know, sure. But I mean, if you're going to spend that much time building highlights and stuff like that, then, you know, you're seeing very limited use out of these kind of this, or what this paint system was intended for. You know, so yeah. Nathaniel, don't Pro Acryl retrofit their paint bottles with these twist caps? Did they retrofit them? The paint set I got from them, they already had the one-handed screw. Yeah, I like it. I like the paint system. You know, colors go on very nicely. I've used them so far. I haven't done much more painting with them, not since Adepticon. Just, you know, been busy. Been busy, man. I don't know. I don't spend all day painting. I know there's a lot of painters out there who, you know, paint a lot. I don't get a lot of time to paint. Busy with other crap. Where am I? Old Man Logan, my loss on these paints will be recovered by the first paint pot that I don't spill. Have lost 3 pots of shade and technical that way. You know what works great? Is those Citadel racks that hold the paints. They sell them, and they're just like little hexagonal looking things. They hold on to all these bottles really easily. And these are all the same diameter. Like, this is a regular paint pot, right? Oh, wait, yeah, this look at this camera. That's a regular size paint pot here. This is the color, right? It's a little bit bigger, but they're all the same diameter. And the big shade wash bottles, all the same diameter. And so they just sit on the base, and you can just put them there, and you don't have to worry about spilling any of your paints. You just have to open them up, and you know what I mean? And they're sitting on a big wide platform. So, you know, there are options out there. It's all a part of your workflow. Nathaniel at Spaztech, I'm surprised by nothing when it comes to GW. I don't understand. Spaztech, anyone else not surprised that GW put the prime in the small bottles? No, these are base colors. Have you not been paying attention? See, it says base. These are just like the base colors. You apply this on top of the prime. Wraithbone and Greyseer. These could also replace probably Uthran Grey and Screaming Skull. But these are not primers. They're base colors. All right. Let's get to an email. Let's do an email. Because we can. Yeah, I'm not impressed with how it sits on that gray. Actually, as it smooths out, look at the arm. That arm actually kind of looks cool. I mean, if that's the look you were going for, okay. But it's not the look I was going for. But it is kind of interesting. And look how the finish is. It's nice and smooth. Yeah. So, anyway. Let's do an email because we can and we shall. Make sure I'm on my right windows here. All right. Headphones, turn them up or down, but here it comes. Or maybe they aren't going to come on at all. I have no idea.
Email time.
I have no idea if jingle's not on. This one is from Marcus Margaret, we'll just say Marcus. Or Nathaniel. Oh, okay, it's Nathaniel. Oops. Maybe I should read ahead. Hi, Kris and fellow monkeys. I recently participated in a competition in which only colors that have been picked by fair dice rolls were allowed. Interesting. The mini to paint was given another one. Out of 4 Chaos Gods was chosen. Okay, wait. The mini to paint was given out of 4 Chaos Gods was chosen. I received a pink horror, which I painted with Corn Red, Brass Scorpion, Jacaro Orange, and Nilic Oxide, Abaddon Black, Korax White, and Agrax Earthshade, and mixtures of the aforementioned. The base was created mixing soda with PVA glue, then base coated with Nilic, washed with Earthshade, edged with Corn Red, Nilic, and a mix of pink. To be honest, I don't feel I did a good or well enough job. The miniatures simply did not speak to me, if you know what I mean. Anyway, you can judge for yourself. The pictures are in the attachment, along with pictures of my hobby zone, my pup, and myself. Any CNC is greatly appreciated. Thanks in advance. Salutations, Nathaniel, aka Marcus. And so here is his model. Now, he was limited by his color choice, but look at that. The skin tones I kind of dig. I like that. It looks like almost like purples to an oranges. They got little hints of browns going on. The tongue, the eyes look kind of cool, from what I can see anyways. The base is interesting. I don't know if I'd have gone with the red and pinks in there. I do like that you've got that brown and gray going on top of the baking soda on the base, though. I like that. I'm not sure I like these little red elements, though. But I like this texture you got going on. It's a nice fine texture in there. And the shadow tones, the brown and what was the other tone you said? Anyway, the Agrax Earthshade in there gives it a really nice color. But the painting doesn't look bad. It's layered highlights. He looks kind of demented. This is a nice angle here. I like that. Gold looks really good. Your highlights look good. I imagine it was pretty fun. It'd be kind of interesting to see what else other people had done. How long I don't recall if you said in the email how long you had per model. But this is interesting. And it's a fun idea for a painting competition. Even if you had like a length, a good deal of length of time. I like your transitions in the little tendril thingies going on. I really like that. Right here, some nice transitions going on. Here could have been a little bit more highlighting on the back, on the toes and stuff. Here's the work area. Got a big old roll of toilet paper over here. Looks like he scaled that from a truck stop or something. Of course, we got a beer going on and a drill. What's the drill for? What's the drill for? Is it for mixing your paints? See, that's what I need in my airbrush booth. Airbrush booth, if I can say it right. Lots of light. I don't have any light in mine right now. And there he is. There's his mug. He's got his dog. He's wearing his dog. Are you wearing your dog? He looks rather sad. Like, ugh, this guy's wearing me again. Ugh, why is he wearing me? Ugh. Is that it? That was the last picture. That was the last picture. So thank you, Nathaniel, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. Yeah. Okay. So Nathaniel says he was given 3 weeks. Okay, so you were given 3 weeks to paint that model. Very, very interesting. Graham says, neat model, keep up. So 3 weeks. Okay. Yeah. I think where some of the placement of your highlights could have been a little bit more consistent. Like for example, let's go back a sec here. Like some of the points, where was it? I was noticing, yes, this is a side picture here. Yeah. So let's go back to the pic. And like on the calf here, you can kind of see like the tendon here that runs to the heel. That could have got highlight, right? The foot here, and on top of the toes. This muscle that runs on the forearm, that could have got highlight. Typically on the knuckles, I do the tops of the knuckles and concentrate the color at the points of each of the little digits. You know, it's kind of an abrupt change of color here from this tricep muscle towards the elbow. But I mean, like, you know, you can obviously create transitions, right? And so I think just a little bit more care in where you're laying colors in. It almost looks like you were laying it like very thin and doing it in a glazing process. Is that what you were doing? Were you glazing it? Oh, there's an echo now? Is it an echo? Now there's an echo? I don't know why there's an echo. Echo is so funny. Stereo echo. How about now? It should be cleared up. I hope. I don't know. Again, this is not my usual system I'm working on, so I'm usually in the layer. But today was a special kind of day because I was showing off the contrasts. So, yeah. Today is a special kind of day. Time we out here. Holy cramoly, we've got 11 minutes left of the show. Where are we? Nathaniel says drilling barrels out, and yes, sometimes mixing paints. Okay. He hated this picture. Oh, the doggy? Oh, he hated the picture? Yeah, the doggy hated the picture? Yeah, he doesn't look like he's having fun in that picture. He looks kind of like, you put me down, man. Nathaniel, yes, glazed a lot of this mini. Okay, so yeah, you were glazing a lot. That's fine. I mean, I think next would be when you're glazing to start using more like finer brushes to do a bit more controlled kind of glazing. You know what I mean? So, you know, you're using finer tip brushes, right? There we go. Where's the focus? There's the focus, yeah. You just want to use that. And I mean, I use this brush. This is a Artist Opus #1. And I use this all the time. Even when I'm painting eyeballs and stuff, I use this brush. I like this brush. It's a good brush. So, yeah. Mark Pitblado? No echo now. Sounds nice and clear. Okay, good. Awesome. Dark Commission at Nathaniel. Not bad considering your limitations. No, exactly. I mean, yeah. I mean, like, there was a lot of, restriction on what you could do. And I think really that kind of exercise is really good. And I think I would suggest that kind of thing for a lot of people who want to, up their game, as it were. Because when you're working from a limited palette, you have to use your creative side of your brain to solve problems. And as long as you're staying, and play by the rules and stay within that limited palette and see what you can come up with as far as, like there's no reds, you're not going to make a red color scheme. So you work with what you got, right? I mean, I think it's a fun exercise, and I hope you learned a lot, Nathaniel. I hope you you found it interesting, and yeah. Demon's Wraith, there he is, 808. Looks cool, scary. Looks cool, scary. Look at this Demon Wraith. Big thank you to Demon Wraith because he sent me in the big old Gundam, and I'm poking him right there. Anyway, yeah. So Demon Wraith. I also picked up what did I pick? Oh, I picked up fresh supply of glue. I'm gonna do up his seams. I even picked up some fine grit for knocking down mold lines and stuff. That's on the menu. It's on the menu. Let's do another email. This one is from Jacob Benedict. Just some ether wings I painted for a Stormcast. Never mind the hobby thumb. This is as far as I think I will take these for my version of Table Ready. And so let's have a look here. Let's click on the first one. Let's go with that. There we go. I like the bright tones, like the highlighting. Transitions are really cool. Very, very pretty. Oh, look at that. I like that. That's nice. And I mean, like, yeah, if you're just getting these ready for tabletop, I mean, you know, don't stress it. I mean, this looks really good for tabletop. Oh, yeah. Love the colors on this one. It's like a bald eagle, but like red. I like that. DM. I like that you change the direction too of how you were high, because like these ones here, getting up by the shoulder, it gets darker, right? And your first example, right, they're getting darker up by the shoulder. But I like you flipped it around on this one. It gets brighter at the shoulder and darker at the tips. I like that. I like the colors on this one. Oh yeah, that looks good. Dude. I like it. Me likey. Me likey. Yeah, that one's good. Yeah, now the rest of them are all like, whatever. That's cool, but you know, whatever. Yeah, look at that. I like that. And you got some nice transitioning going on there too. I imagine to the eye, this looks really kick-ass. Yeah. Oh, is that the last one? Oh, that was the last one. Well, thank you, dude, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. Yeah, like the transitioning there, and I'm sure you had a ton of fun laying that down, because yeah, that looks like a lot of fun. What time we at here? Holy cremolies, we got 5 minutes left of the show. Anything else? Oh, Jacob Benedict, thanks. Yeah, no problem, dude. Red Dragon Models, hello, Monkey Master. Welcome. Are you just showing up, Red Dragon? Because you might have to go all the way back to the beginning of the show, because I did a lot of talk today about Citadel contrast, and I know somebody like Red Dragon there, who I'm sure has tons of experience in model making. I'm sure you would find a use for these colors as well. They're really they're transparencies. It's just like the ghost tints or Tamiya clear colors, or you know, what have you. But yeah, Nathaniel, Pontiac Firebird hood stencil. That's what it's reminding me of. Yeah, kind of like the Firebirds, yeah. All right. Another email. This one is from Demon Wraith. This is what I have learned from you so far. Thank you, Kris. Love the hobby peas. The hobby peas. How can I improve? Thank you. So let's have a look. Ooh. How can you improve? Just taking more care. Take your time. I think you're on the right track, dude. You know, just being careful of your mold lines. You know, stuff like that. Right? Just the fundamentals. Your priming, your mold lining, cleaning, laying nice smooth base coat. You know, laying the shade wash down. I know there's a lot of reliance on that. As you get more experience as a painter, you kind of stop relying on those things. But, you know, and you might even enjoy these contrast paints. You might find a lot of value in these. Like the edge highlighting. Like the work on the band. Yeah. This one feels a bit like there might have been a lot of primer laid on the model. It feels like it's a heavy prime. Just be mindful of that. Ooh, wow, look at this. This is pretty. Yeah, dude, I think you're on the right track. It's just time and practice. Taking your time, you know, thinking about the color. I mean, it's obviously very controlled. Paint is where it should be, right? Like nothing is jumping out at me that says, "Oh, this is doing this," or "He's doing this." I mean, the mold lines and stuff like that, clearing those mold lines, that's a small nitpicky thing. Paint looks like it's pretty smooth. Doesn't look like it's obscuring details. The one of the other Ganger model, it looked a little bit like the paint might have been a bit heavy on it, or maybe it's a sculpt. I don't know, but this looks good. I like this. And again, as you develop as a painter, you stop relying on the shade washes providing a lot of your effects, and you start becoming more deliberate in where you'll place the shadows and such. Oh, look at this. Yeah. Like, it's just, it's like I can see where you're at right now. You're laying down the base coat, you're laying down a shade wash, and you're starting to do a little bit of highlighting and stuff. And you're on the right track. You're on the right track. I think as you develop further, you will get into further highlighting, and you get less reliant on shade wash providing your effects, your tones that you're looking to create. But absolutely nothing wrong with getting the shade wash where you want it. I mean, it's just where you are at in your phase of painting, and everybody's at different phases, and yeah. I think really, concentrate on getting the mold lines, doing a nice prime, and laying nice smooth base coats. Laying a nice smooth finish on the model is just one of those things that works wonders. And I mean, like, you've got a nice smooth finish going on most of these models. And just be mindful of your mold lines and your priming. But again, that's all time, man. It's all time. It's all experience, and yeah. So thank you, Demon's Wrath, for sending that in. Awesome stuff. That champion duder looked really good. Let's go back to this guy again. Yeah, I like the forehead. It's well picked out. The eyes have a bit of a glow to them. I like the gem in the belly, has a nice highlight going on. And I mean, you're just going to develop that further, and you're just going to push those contrasts further, and you're just going to get better. And again, let it just keep practicing, right? It's just like everything in life. You just got to practice, and you look like you're well on your way to becoming a really good painter. And yeah, definitely, man. What time are we out here? Holy cramolies, we're 1 minute past. We better hurry up and get this thing done here. Geeky Sneaky Ninja, thanks for the demo today. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for tuning in. We're not done yet. I got one more email to do. And for that, I think what we'll do is a jingle. So if you're wearing headphones, turn them up or down, because here it comes. Is there a jingle? Yeah, there's a jingle. I couldn't tell if there's a jingle or not. This one is from Dark Commission. Hi, Mighty One. Just a quick tease for you and the monkeys. Full model, including diorama and vignette, coming probably next show. Cheers, John, a.k.a. Dark Commission. And so this is a teaser. He's teasing us. He's a big old tease. Oh, it's the wrong angle. I'm not set up for a wide angle shot, so I'm just going to go right back to the email. That gives us the best shot of it, because the image is only that wide. There was no jingle music, and I'm probably getting an echo again, aren't I? Anyway, I don't know. I'm on a different system here, man. I mean, it's been a while since I've done the show from this one. Anyway, there was no jingle, eh? Interesting. Anyway. It's horsey. I see a horsey. And a leopard cape. And Nathaniel Dark Commission, you're such a tease. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Yeah, I think we might have learned a little bit something. Hopefully you found the demo of the contrast paints somewhat informative and insightful, and kind of get you excited about it, because I'm excited about it, honestly. I mean, Games Workshop's not paying me to say these nice things about their paints, or the limitations of their paints, or criticize their business practice, or whatever. So, yeah, I like them. And I've been wanting to talk about these since I was showing them. And it's been really, really difficult to keep my mouth shut about them. And now we're really, really close. I have mine. I have all mine. Mine! I was going to do this whole sweeping thing, but the camera's not really showing it. Oh, wait. If I zoom it out, I could probably zoom it all out. Hold on. Zoom out. Zoom out. Oh, piss off. There we go. Let's change the zoom. There we go. Okay. So it's mine. All mine. Mine. Yeah, so I'm super excited about them. Oh, you know what? Jeez, we didn't even get to talk about the mediums. Oh, well, we'll save that for some other videos. Save that for some videos. I'll probably produce a video or two on my channel, here on my YouTube channel, but expect to see a bunch on mini wargaming. So, yeah, probably a tutorial or two, and also expect some reaction videos from the boys, or the rest of the mini wargaming crew, on what their thoughts are on this stuff. And hopefully you guys found the demonstration today insightful. Hopefully it answers some of you guys' questions. Some of you guys' questions. And yeah. Commission painting service. You want to show off what you're working on? Send your emails to Kris@miniwargaming.com. It's in the description below. If you're going to send pictures, please do. Send pictures as attachments in the email. And of course, in the description below is also a link to waythebrush.com. Central hub of all the silliness. Has links to all the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, stuff like that. I post on Twitter all the time as far as like updates and whatever, and if I'm going to be doing a show. And so follow me on Twitter, because that's usually where I'm posting a lot of stuff, as well as Instagram. I post a lot of stuff as well. And also Discord. Discord's been fantastic. I'm not sure I'll be jumping onto Discord today, because I'm at my office and I'm getting kind of hungry. And you notice I wasn't drinking at all today, so I think I need food. So, yeah, Way the Brush, Discord, been fantastic. Also, links on waythebrush.com for t-shirts. Want to get yourself a t-shirt, support the cause, and help and look like a connoisseur of all that is good and holy in this world. They're wearing a Way the Brush t-shirt. And of course, for everybody who's purchased a shirt, send a picture of yourself in your shirt, and I will add it to the Monkey Shrine, which is also on waythebrush.com. And also on waythebrush.com is links to Patreon. Patreon support has been fantastic. Thank you to all my patrons who currently support me, and for everybody who in the future will support. I only ever charge per episode of Way the Brush, so it's only ever, every Saturday. So you kind of know what you're getting into if, you're considering supporting monetarily. And, big thank you to everybody who does, because again, it helps keep the lights on, kind of thing, and supports upgrades, site maintenance, all that stuff, and of course, prize support as well. So big thank you to everybody there. What else? Oh, big thank you to Guy Muir Alfer, aka Carl, aka Beer and Bubble. That's his YouTube channel. Check him out. For the email jingles, taking the time out of his busy day to create those email jingles that play before the email segments. Huge thank you to him. Much love all the time for him. Me love him long time. And I think that's all the thank yous, right? That's the thank yous, the plugs, everything like that. And so I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Playing around with Citadel Contrast. Just playing around with it. Initial concepts. So hopefully for you guys are kind of fired up about this paint. Anybody who's not fired up to buy these paints, they're not going to buy these paints anyway. And so hopefully the rest of you are all fired up, because I enjoy these paints so far from what I've played with. I've enjoyed them. And the browns, definitely the browns. I've gone on about the browns. Definitely the browns. If you're just gonna pick up a few colors, pick up the brown. Definitely pick up Snakebite Leather. Where is it? Snakebite Leather. Yeah, there it is. Snakebite Leather. Fantastic. Fantastic color. Did these boots with that. It looks awesome. The finish is really good. Pre-shading, more testing need to be done with the pre-shading. So, but oh, we didn't try metallics. We didn't get to metallics. Sorry, folks, we didn't get to metallics. Oh well. Next time. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. Yeah, hopefully you guys are fired up. Hopefully you guys learned something. And I will see you guys next time. Take care of your brushes. They'll take care of you. And I will see you guys next week. Next week? Oh, wait, no. Next week is a tournament, I think. So I'm probably no show next week. Or the week after. We're getting into summertime, so Kris might take off and, take off, eh? And do stuff. So, yeah. All right, I'm getting the heck out of here. I'll see you guys later. I just realized. Oh, I gotta go on here. I just realized. Oh, stupid echo. That I missed a super chat comment. Kzoe. Sup, Kris? Figured I'd ask if there are any contrast paints that would look good on Slaanesh demons so I can finally actually paint my demons. I'm sorry I missed your comment during the show, but I will answer your question right now. And yeah, there are a few colors. There are 2 purples. And there are some grays. Now, I have not tried out any of the grays. But yeah, there are 2 purples. And of course, and there's a nice deep, this one, yeah. There's 3 colors here. That would be great, I think, on Slaanesh models. Let me just get them in my hand here. And let's change to the split screen here. Yeah, these 3 colors here. Oh, right, I gotta change the focus. Anyway, it is Contrast Vulpes Pink. And this is a really nice, bright kind of, almost magenta, really. Contrast Magos Purple. Really fun one. Kind of see a bit of the color there. And then, of course, Shyish Purple. And it's got a deep purple look. This one's probably more like Xerce Purple. This one here is probably more, a bit closer to probably like Screamer Pink, maybe. I don't know. I haven't tried them. And Vulpes Pink It's probably more like Screamer Pink or even Emperor's Children, probably. I don't know. I haven't played with them. I'm sure these probably go on top of Slaanesh models just fine. But, yeah. So, thank you, Kzoy1. Thank you for the super chat. I'm sorry I missed it. Bad Kris. I usually try and keep an eye on both these things because I know the one program that I use that tells me comments and stuff like that. It doesn't distinguish when somebody sends that super chat, and I should send these arseholes a message and say, "Hey, somebody send me super chat here. Ask me some legit questions. I need to know. Need the download. I don't even see where your comment appeared. I'm going through the history right now. Yeah. I don't even see. But either way, I apologize for missing your comment. And a big thank you for the super chat. Man, I don't even see the comment. Son of a beehive. Anywho, let's get the heck out of here. Let's enjoy the rest of this Saturday. I don't know, I'm tongue-tied now, so I'm out of here. Go do something. Go do something productive. Go paint. Or save up your pennies and pick up some contrast. I know, it sounds like I'm selling this crap, right? I should have stock in GW. I really should.